The Crown Prince witnessed with his own eyes his two cousins looking at his beautiful and frail face with a moment of daze and astonishment, and the initial cruelty was no longer seen. With this face, if he wanted to serve others with his looks in the future, there would be many men who would take the bait. However, Wei Jing had always been disgusted with homosexuality. The carriage was moving slowly with the wooden window half open. The wind that blew after the snow contained moisture and penetrated into people's bones. After being exposed to this wet wind for a while, Sheng Jiaoyu couldn't bear it. She hid her fingers further and further inside. She was in such a hurry to go out this morning that she didn't even have time to put on a cloak. Enduring the cold, she asked in a low voice, "Your Highness, yesterday evening, Wei Jing suddenly interrupted her. "Since you asked to go before, there is no reason to go back on your word." Sheng Jiaoyu was left speechless and sat quietly with her head down. She had originally planned to keep her mouth shut until arriving at the Qianxi temple to avoid offending the Crown Prince. However, she really couldn't withstand the biting cold wind, and her calves were frozen stiff. She raised her eyes, her eyelashes trembling slightly, and said, "Your Highness, could you please close the window?" "I'm afraid you'll be affected by the wind." Wei Jing silently cast a glance at her. His deep black eyes held a hint of a smile. Unconsciously, some grievance showed on the young man's face. The corners of his eyes were reddened by the wind, and his eye sockets were also a bit moist. It had slipped his mind that Sheng Jiaoyu couldn't bear the cold, and yet he had so righteously claimed to be afraid for him. Facing the Crown Prince's intimidating gaze, Sheng Jiaoyu felt great pressure. Wei Jing raised his hand to close the window and then ordered the people outside the curtain in a commanding tone. "Bring a brazier!" Not long after, a servile servant eyed him in. There was charcoal burning in the gilded hollow pattern brazier for heating. Sheng Jiaoyu felt more comfortable and naturally relaxed her brows. Her complexion looked even softer, with a rosy tint on a white base, and her skin was delicate and fair, looking better than that of a girl with rouge and powder on. Suddenly, Wei Jing reached out and pinched his cheek. The boy who was pinched was immediately stunned. When the man slightly exerted force with his fingers, he frowned in pain, and some anger emerged in his clear and bright eyes.